What's going on, everyone? So, say what you want about the Los Angeles Lakers. And I know it's the Los Angeles Laker channel, so people are going to, chime in regardless. But Lakers have been an organization that is incredibly loyal to their players. Right? See a team like Dallas in that whole situation. And, to see how impactful of a moment that was and just everything that went into that. Luka balling to now I have to start balling, right? Like literally, like to be in tears to now I have to go jump in to one of the biggest games that I've ever played because of the emotions and the impact and everything that's just going on, right? Like it's just that was one of the toughest, most intense, emotional games Luka will ever play in his life, right? NBA Finals, all that stuff. Winning an NBA championship, will he be emotional? Of course. But there's different levels of emotions. There's different kinds of emotions. And Luka has never had a moment like that and never will, right? Because loyalty, right? Like Lakers have always done a good job of taking care of theirs. I'm not saying that they've, done right by everybody. Shaq, they had to make a decision between Shaq and Kobe. They ended up sticking with Kobe, right? There's players that have left, Lamar Odom trade for Chris Paul, right? Like that falls through. Lamar Odom, he doesn't want to be there anymore, right? There's things, right? You could even argue Anthony Davis being traded for Luka, right? But the guys that are the Magics, the Kobes, right? LeBrons, Luka Doncic of the world, those guys, the Lakers have always taken care of and have done a very good job of setting the tone and example every single time. Kobe Bryant, for example. We love Kobe, right? Us Laker fans, when he got that max after the torn Achilles, we were all, hey, he deserves it, right? Like, give him 10-year max, right? Like, we all didn't care. If we have to eat, crow for a little bit, so be it, right? Because of what Kobe did, what Kobe meant. The non-Lakers side of it, the non-biased, the basketball, like just looking at it from a does this make sense perspective, it didn't, right? For a team that was probably best rebuilding or retooling, paying Kobe the max at that time, given where he was in his career, didn't really make sense, right? But it did for the Lakers to set the example that, again, we take care of our own. Everyone's saying we shouldn't give Kobe the max. From a business perspective, yeah, it makes sense to keep Kobe around, but we probably didn't have to give him the max, right? Like, yes, there's all this outside noise, all this outside, you should do this, you should do that, whatever. Media's like, oh man, Lakers are going to be terrible for months. Joy Kobe, why you got it? It's not going to last very long. And then LeBron came through the door. Say what you want to say about LeBron, however you feel about LeBron, right? LeBron has said it wasn't just solely because of Kobe, right? There's no way it wasn't part of it, right? LeBron wanted to go to LA. His wife wanted to go to LA. His family wanted to go to LA. But the loyalty element of it, the way that LeBron was not in his prime. He was at the tail end of his career. I mean, granted, it turned out to be another prime, but at the time it was looked at as like, how many more years does he have in the league? Right? Another 3, 5? That aged poorly, right? Like, it's like, there's like that tweet where it's like, I can't wait. It was like from 8 years ago or something like that, 10 years ago, where it's like, man, I'm glad I don't have to, deal with this much longer. Well, surprise. But point is, get back on track, right? There was a genuine argument that like, hey, this doesn't make sense. But you pay Kobe to set the standard and set the example for the next star, right? That, hey, again, we do right by those guys. Lakers weren't going anywhere at that time. It's not like Lakers were, one of the best teams and all these stars were lining up. No, it was at a time where it's like, hey, you're rebuilding anyway, right? Kobe might win you a couple games that he won't, but he's not, prime Kobe Bryant, right? Like, so eat crow for a little bit, do what you got to do, finish what you got to finish, and then, we'll rebuild this. And then LeBron came, and then you win Anthony Davis, and then you win a championship. And then fast forward, and now you get Luka. And you have that history now to show Luka, right? Look what we did for Magic, right? Look what we did for Kobe. Look what we've done for LeBron. Right? Why do you think LeBron came here? Why do you think LeBron in part came here? You don't think LeBron's telling Luka, like, hey, this is the place. Where are you going to go, man? Now, again, I'm not worried about Luka. I never was worried about Luka leaving. But Lakers cannot make the mistakes that Dallas did. Why do Lakers always get the stars? Because they take care of them. If you're a star, you're like, man, I get the beach, I get the nightlife, I get the women, I get the money, I get the lifestyle, and I get an organization that will bend over backwards and do whatever I need them to. Right? I mean, again, it's what it is. Stars, can they be a little diva? Sure, they're stars, right? Dallas is over here crying like, well, Luka wanted his people and they wanted that. Is it a little diva? Sure, because they're stars, right? You don't think Jordan had his things? You think Kobe had his things? Everybody had their things, right? No one cared because they're the stars. They earned that leeway. You want to appease them and keep them happy because there's another team that will, right? Dallas made a foolish mistake. Foolish. It's foolish. There's no spin in it otherwise. And Lakers might win the championship this year. That would be an even bigger disaster if you're Dallas. Lakers cannot be anything other than the Lakers, right? Lakers need to be that team that paid Kobe, that is taking care of LeBron, that is doing and bends over backwards, do whatever they need, whatever LeBron needs, whatever LeBron asks. So many people, why do Lakers do this for LeBron and that for LeBron? Because to show guys like Luka, hey, you can go to these other teams, yeah, but they're not going to treat you like we will. They're not going to take care of you like we will, especially in your later years when teams are trying to gyp you and stuff. Especially, hey, Dallas didn't even want to give you the Supermax. We would have given you the Supermax, right? We ain't trade. You don't have to worry about us trading you, right? Because you got to remember, there's always going to be this sense with Luka now, right? Luka was one of, if not the most loyal stars in the league, and now that's gone. He really learned the business side of things, which is why I've always maintained I'm fine with player empowerment, right? Players want to move and all stuff. Go, do it. Organizations don't care, right? Organizations are the first ones to sell you, even when they shouldn't. They're the first ones to sell you, to find any reason to sell you. So why? Why would you be loyal to that, right? If you're Luka, you're in an organization that has proved time and time again that they'll be loyal to you, right? Like, hey, you were loyal to Dallas, they backstabbed you. You're loyal to us, you don't have to worry about getting backstabbed. And that's the beauty. That's where the Lakers have their edge. It's why the Lakers stars want to go there. Stars want to be there. I'm not saying it's the sole factor, but it's one of them. That's key. That's very important. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? If you feel what your thoughts, do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.